evening. It is 5:30, January 21st here, 2026. We're at the council chambers in the greatest city, Eveleth, for our meeting this evening. This is a change of date from the 19th to tonight due to the fact that it was Martin Luther King Day on Monday. So we're here on a special meeting to make up for that. Let's start off with our roll call. Call to order, excuse me.
Thank you, Mayor. Councillor Koivunen.
Here.
Councillor Perpich. Councillor Lillis.
Here.
Councillor Rousey.
Yeah.
Mayor Rowan.
Here. All here except for Perpich, so call to order. We'll get after this. We'll start off with the approval of minutes. Minutes of the City Council workshop meeting for January 5th of 26, and minutes of the City Council meeting January 5th of 26. Motion to move.
So moved. Support.
Rousey and Lillis, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Next up is the approval of the agenda. Everybody had a chance to take a look. Motion to move.
So moved. Support.
Koivunen and Lillis. Any discussion, changes? Pat, do you feel like everything was added that needed to be added in after the workshop?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. No further discussion? All in favor of accepting the way it's written, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Open it up for public comment. If anybody in the stands out there, no? We will move on then to the consent of the agenda. We're looking to approval of payroll for January 1st through the 9th of 2026.
So
Motion to move, Rousey.
yes, sir.
Support by Koivunen. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Next up will be new business. So we'll dive right into it. We've got a list tonight, nothing direly long, just lots of small things that we'll tackle. So we'll just go through them, and anybody at home, feel free to go online. You can pull this up and you can check things out, follow along if you'd like. First up is considering the request from the Roller Underground to rent the Hippodrome for practice and to host competition in 2026. Motion to move.
So moved.
Lillis,
Support.
Rousey, any discussion?
Same old, Jerry.
Same old thing.
So when they come to you, is it just a flat rate every year, or is it kind of a back and forth?
No, it's been a flat rate every year. They came to the council early on when they first started. The council decided how much to charge them, and that's what we've been charging them since.
Okay. I'll be honest, I didn't know what a good number or a bad number would be on this, being the fact that nobody else is using it really at that point, so.
We came up with that just when Jerry, when we first started doing it, we figured it wasn't gonna kill them because they were just starting it. Then they got some people around when they had their bouts and, they were in town, and that's what it's all about. They brought people to town.
Right.
And as long as Jerry wasn't using it and it doesn't interfere with anything that was going on down there, we figured it would be just fine.
I think it's great to have something going on in the facility. Good idea. With that being said, all in favor of moving forward with this request, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion will carry. Next up, number 2, accept Royal Waters Community Foundation Anonymous Fund Grant. Motion to move.
So moved.
Koivunen,
Support.
support by Rousey, and discussion is open. Anybody? I hit it again.
You do it every meeting.
Every meeting I get it. We're gonna take it out. Anyway, this came for a donation to the library, correct?
That's correct, Mayor. An anonymous donation.
Anonymous at that. So with that being said, it was, there a specific plan on what they wanted to do with the funds, or was it just kind of put it into a general account?
Yep. At the end of the day, there was no requirement on what needed to be used on. It's considered unrestricted in the letter, so the plan would be to rely on our library director to think of some initiatives to use the funds for.
Perfect. I wasn't sure if there was something specific when I saw that number. It's a nice number. I mean, $5,000 donation, there's nothing wrong with that. And to whom that person may be, we don't know, but thank you very much for your donation. It's greatly appreciated. The city of Eveleth and the library and all of its friends appreciate that greatly. So thank you very much. With that being said, if there's no further discussion, all in favor of accepting the foundation's fund grant, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Number 3, application to conduct excluded bingo Knights of Columbus Council 2583 at 301 Adams Avenue. Motion to move.
So move.
Rousey,
Support.
Willis, discussion. Annual thing is just being tidied up as I see it. Wonderful. If there's no further discussion, all in favor of moving forward with this application, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you. All right, next up is the application for exempt permit from Sturgeon River Chapter of Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, Kuromasabi Range Recreation Civic Center, 901 Hattrick Avenue, September 19th of 2026. Motion to move.
So move.
Rosie,
Support.
Koivunen, discussion?
This is a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Good bunch of guys,
Yeah.
or people, excuse me.
I saw it and I did a little research. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. Perfect. If there's no further discussion on this application, all in favor of moving forward, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion will carry. We're good. We're not flying too fast.
No.
It's just happening. I like it. Pat, you're keeping up with us?
Yeah, I'm trying.
All right.
He's a blur over there.
We're the real deal.
Thank
We
you for
haven't let
asking.
Jerry talk yet, so it's okay. Next up is authorizing out-of-town training request for the City of Eveleth Police Chief to attend the 2026 Executive Training Institute Conference in St. Cloud on April 13th through the 16th of 2026. Motion to move.
So moved.
Lillis,
Support.
support by Koivunen. Any discussion?
Tell me what I want to hear, Chief.
This is our annual training license.
Excellent.
And they're waiting for you, St.
Annual
Cloud.
Chiefs Conference we're allowed to go to this year is being held in St. Cloud, April 13th to the 16th. Cost $585 plus hotel accommodations.
You've gone every year since chief,
We're
or
going every year, yeah. It's,
you come back every time with,
they have some good training. They have some good speakers. They have some coming from across the country, and it's good networking with other local chiefs and from across the state. So
lots of motivation?
it is. You come back motivated, but it lasts for maybe a month. But
How long do the pens last?
it's good. It's good training.
I feel ya. I've been to a lot of those trainings throughout the years, but I'm glad that you're able to go there and take it in, and I know networking is always the biggest thing. The people that you can meet and then utilize their knowledge in the future is priceless. So, being that it's in the budget, that makes you happy? Wonderful. Is there any further discussion? With that being said, all in favor of moving forward, allowing Chief to attend this Executive Training Institute conference, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion will carry. Have fun, sir. Learn lots.
Thank you.
You'll still answer my calls though, right?
I definitely will.
All right, thanks. Jerry doesn't, but. Next up, number 6, authorize signing of cooperative agreement for 2026 and 2027 curb and sidewalk repair. Motion to move.
So moved.
Koivunen,
Support.
Rousey, discussion?
This is a very good thing that the county's been doing. You know, it's a no-brainer for us because these curbs and sidewalks have to be fixed, and by the time you get them all fixed, we have to start over at the beginning. So it saves us some money and they help us out.
When I was looking through this, Jerry, I didn't see a starting year, and maybe it probably doesn't need to be there, but how long has this been a collaboration between the county and the city?
When I first talked with them, it was probably in 2000, it was about 18. So we've been doing it ever since, 18, 19.
7, 8 years now, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I was reading through it and I just, well, this is kind of a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. it's a 100% benefit for us, that's for sure.
Because we have to do it anyway.
Right.
You know, so it's just, goes back to what we talked about a little earlier, that collaboration with the county is good.
Yeah,
Do twice as much for half price.
Yes.
right.
2 feet of sidewalk.
Your sidewalk's all done up at your house, isn't
I
it?
got a chunk missing yet.
Any further discussion on this cooperative agreement? All in favor of moving forward on signing it, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Next up is approved resolution accepting Office of Emergency Medical OEM Service Grant. Motion to move.
So moved.
Koivunen?
Support.
Lillis?
I'm pretty sure I have to abstain from any of this conversation, just to be safe.
If that makes you feel better?
It does not, but just to be safe.
Okay, well, fair enough. So we've received a grant for just shy of $74,000. Pat, do you want to just kind of fill everybody in kind of what's going on and what the thought process is here for this OEMS?
Yeah, absolutely. And Teresa's here as well, Emergency Management Supervisor. So this is a grant that that's been approved for year one for us. We can have this approved every year for up to 5 years. We had received a grant the previous year, but that was a one-time grant for some special circumstances. And what this grant allows us to do is be real creative and find deficits in the emergency management services that we have and to use these funds to improve what we consider those deficits. And so I did complete with the supervisor's input a series of points. And one of the points that we looked at is we benchmarked a lot of emergency medical services in the region, and we found that the hourly rate here is lower, much lower than other EMSs. So one of the things that we would propose is to increase that hourly rate. I would like to do that at a future city council meeting. By you approving this resolution, you are not approving that. But I would like to bring it back February 2nd for you to consider that. We also are looking at training opportunities and finding ways to, train our EMTs, cross-train them, make them multifunctional in handling all emergencies. EMTs do have that basic training, but depending on years of service, they may have experienced and done things other EMTs have not experienced yet. So we're looking at all those types of opportunities. That's what was put in the work plan and in the budget. And so at the end of the day, I would like to bring something back to you because we are going to propose increasing those wages, but we don't feel we should do it now. We should have you consider accepting the grant as a resolution and then bringing that to you on the 2nd for consideration.
Well, I will be honest, when I heard about this and heard about what the idea was behind it, it took relief off my shoulders because the times that I've sat down at the EMT hall and chatted with people that have been there and heard about some things, and the hourly rate just kind of was unsettling to me. So it was in my goals to make differences over the course of this year, one way or the other, and this just really gives us a possible opportunity to make that right. And what really was encouraging is the fact that it could end up being a 5-year grant.
Yeah,
So we
renewed
can
every year, yes, sir.
Continue moving forward for the next 5 years, giving us time to prepare ourselves if this grant doesn't exist 5 years from now, to be prepared as a city to pay for the cost of which these EMTs that are out saving lives and being a part of the community should be getting paid. So I really like the idea of, on top of training, education, maintenance of vehicles, medical supplies, et cetera, all things which are needed. But I really do support the fact, that idea. We want to put our efforts into making sure that the people we have here taking care of our community in this respect are being compensated well for their time and their knowledge. So, Teresa, I appreciate you taking the time to work on this and bring this to us, and Pat for putting things together with her and allowing us to move forward with this grant opportunity. Anytime the city can bring in monies that's not directly from a taxpayer is a good day. Whether it's $100 or $75,000+, it doesn't matter. It's a good day. Anybody else have any thoughts or concerns of any sorts? I can't imagine, but if there's nothing else, All in favor of accepting the emergency medical OEM service grant, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, with one abstaining. Thank you very much, and thank you again, Trees, for putting the time into getting this done. I really appreciate that. It made one of my projects in 2026 way easier for me, so thank you very much. Kind of an Elvis line right there, thank you very much. You like that?
Yes, I did.
You did. All right, next up, number 8, authorized consultant services contract with Abdo. Motion to move.
So moved.
Rousey,
Support.
support by Koivunen. Discussion? Pat, I'll just let you just kind of give the basic run over on this and we'll go from there.
Yep, thank you, Mayor. And so at the end, what we're requesting here is for Abdo, who's our consultant that provides audit services, to actually, through this contract, be able to communicate with me via phone and via internet to do some updating with regards to bank reconciliation and some other budget deficits that just haven't occurred for a period of time. And what we're really gearing towards is making sure everything is in place so that when our audit occurs in April, these things are lined up correctly. And so I had an initial discussion with Abdo and reviewed some of the things I'd like some assistance with, and they agreed that this would be very helpful to you now and also to prepare you for your audit. And so it'd be limited, it would be at my discretion, but there would be no on-site visits. It's going to be strictly over the phone and then through technology.
Does anybody have any questions for Pat at all on this?
Just a comment that I was very pleased with the results that Abdo provided to us with our audit this year. You know, it was probably one of the best audit presentations I've seen in my tenure, so I'm wholly in favor of them stepping up to modernize or streamline or whatever you might want to call our or financial system. So I am fully in favor of it.
I completely agree with you. There's nothing more to be said to it than that exact line. What they presented for my first year, I can't compare it to anything else, but it was a lot of quality information of things that I had been asking, and there it was. So for them to just put it together so cleanly for us was nice. If there's no further discussion on this, all in favor of authorizing the consultant services contract with Abbo, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 9, authorize additional purchases for the community center. We had motion for this.
So moved.
Support. Koivunen. All right. During the workshop, we went over a series of different things that were still needed. There were things on there like tables and chairs. There were some TV screens for the rooms. I guess a plethora of different items. Sorry that all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank, but items through Keenan's TV and appliance and some different things like that at Walmart that are just needed to kind of get the building up and going. But nonetheless, they're all discussed and broken down for you along with the signage also. So is there any other discussion regarding those items?
Well, I guess I'm hoping perhaps you can give us a ballpark again, what the total number is gonna be, so that I would like to amend my motion to include adequate amount of money to attribute to that project.
That's a fair statement. Let me just grab the numbers from the list from earlier and put them together. Use my brain as a calculator and see what comes out.
That was for everything on the list?
Yeah,
I would say not to exceed 15,000. I'll be close.
yeah, you're roughly at 14-ish, so.
So I would amend my motion to authorize the purchase of the necessary community center equipment in an amount not to exceed $15,000.
And I would support that.
I will not discuss it, as I agree.
And that was 1-5 or 1-6?
1-5.
1-5.
1-5.
Trying to sneak another
I just
grand.
making sure I hear right.
Grand.
Maybe he said 75, I don't know.
Pretty sure not.
So, okay. So then there's a motion for additional purchases up to 15,000 for use of the community center. Lillis and Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Next up is authorizing the hiring of the community center attendants. Motion to move.
So moved.
Rosie? Support?
Support.
Koivunen? So the applications are in. Jerry and Pat are gonna put together their interview process, for this week yet, right?
This week is what we're gonna plan on, yes.
Okay. And then anybody that's fitting the need and the amount of people that we need, they'll move forward from there and then go from there and do the background checks, et cetera, and we'll be on our way. Is there any further discussion to that at all? Do we have a proposed date that we'd like them to start? Are we thinking first or second week of February? Is that kind of an idea where we are gonna roll with it as we go?
We were gonna rely on our community center coordinator to provide us a date, but I think our goal here is to make sure they're, one, qualified, they can define their availability. And, you know, we do have some questions on, because might be some physical requirements of the position. We want to make sure we understand their limitations. They also understand the type of position they're getting into. And, but we'd like to provide a full list of candidates that can be drawn from by the coordinator and utilized as needed. So I guess we'd want to hear from you in that
Yeah.
capacity.
Well, I think that, you know, utilizing the date of February 2nd is a fair date. That doesn't mean that everything's gonna be in. It doesn't mean that everything's gonna be rolling, but I think that it's a great start. We're gonna have the safety and the cleaning and all that stuff done so people can start coming in and at least start walking and putting together a plan as we then maybe move forward for a large, wide opening, maybe more for mid-February to March and when we have everything in. I mean, the bouncy houses are weeks out just with delivery and everything else, so that won't be here by that date, but those things have been completed and purchased and they're on their way. They're just not here yet, so maybe aiming for end of February for a bouncy house day would work out well, so. I think bringing them in the first week or two of February is a great idea. Get them to understand what the requirements are of the job and get them scheduled so they know what to do when we're going live and have lots of people enjoying that building. The goal that we're talking about is to have the community center, which is the old school, open in February for a variety of different things, whether it be for walking, if you want to come in the building and walk. We're calling it senior center time. It'd be for time for people to come in and just gather and maybe work on puzzles or play cards together or just chit chat, whatever it might be. We're gonna have pickleball inside the gymnasium in February, and those will be set times. We're looking to be open in the morning from 8 to noon, Monday through Friday, and then possible weekends as well. And it's just a process right now, and the only thing holding us up really right now is just getting things all tucked in done. Our whole goal is to make the building safe and clean before we let people inside of it. And our city crew's been amazing getting up there, getting tons of stuff done. We have a cleaning company that came in and they pretty much tackled it and have it shining better than ever. And we're just tidying up some light bulbs and things like that. So ultimately, community of Eveleth, get ready to start utilizing your community center because it is about ready for you to be a part of. The bouncy houses on the weekends, I think, are gonna be a huge hit. Families will be able to bring their kids in and have some fun. And we hopefully at our next meeting will be able to put together the costs that we're looking at for the community as far as what things should be costing, et cetera, to come and use it. Not everything is gonna be free, but not everything's gonna be highly expensive either. We are looking to have 2 rooms inside the building, and inside those rooms in those rooms you can rent for family reunions, birthday parties, graduation parties, etc. maybe be able to rent the bouncy house, shoot hoops in the gym, all that types of stuff is our goal with the building. So thank you so much for being patient with us as we've worked with the school district to get the building and get it to where it needs to be. We're just gonna continue going through some hurdles, get things tied up so that we can have this building available to our community and to the best use. There'll be a, we'll call it a flyer that's gonna go out in your water bill. We're gonna get them into some of the apartment complexes as well. It's gonna have a quick little breakdown of what you would use it for, what would be important, things like that. So please fill that out, get it back to us as soon as you can so that we can go over it and try to make this facility as useful as we can to everybody in the community. So look for that in your utility bill. It'll be the fun part of opening up that letter. That's my feeling anyway. The council is the part that's asking you those pieces. Jerry is the one charging you for the water. Jerry, I had to get you. Just, you've had a pretty easy week.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. With that being said, if there's nothing further, hiring of the center attendants, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion will carry. Thank you for whoever's listening and didn't turn the TV off or their computer off through that, but I just really want to get those words out there so you understand that we're making great progress to get that building open for you. Next up is authorize the hiring of a part-time library clerks. Motion to move.
So moved.
Koivunen.
I support.
Support by Lillis. Discussion on this?
And it's actually 2 clerks, is that correct?
Yeah, it is 2 clerks for up to 20 hours per week. And library director and city administrator Pat are recommending the city council approve the hiring of 2 people for part-time library clerks. Both candidates have passed their background. They're ready to go as soon as we give them the thumbs up,
I
so.
think we should give them the thumbs up because it's a busy place.
Yep, they are definitely in need of the help. Anything else? All right, all in favor of hiring these 2 library part-time clerks, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mallory and Kaya, I hope I got your name right. Welcome aboard, and we will see you inside the library. Number 12. Resignation of Bruce Stanaway from the Golf Course Commission. Motion to move.
I will so move.
Koivunen, support.
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any discussion at all?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bruce. It's been a pleasure working with him. Jerry and I got to work with him, you know, he's a fun guy, great guy. And I'd like to send him a thanks for being on the commission. And in the same time, we have an opening on the golf commission if anybody's interested. Come on, Jerry's not that bad and I'm kind of fun. So, come on in and sign up.
Anything else? Nope. Please, people that are interested, not just the golf commission, all the commissions, please reach out. We are taking a look currently at redoing the application for commissions. Not quite so detailed, more of an inviting feel for you, so keep your eyes open for that. Office staff is working on that now. I don't want to give a date on when it's going to be done, but they're working on that now to get that completed so we have a more inviting feel to be a part of our community's commissions than something that feels a little more drawn. So I do want to thank Bruce also for his time and everybody that is serving time on all of our commissions. It is something that is not taken lightly by this council at all. So all in favor of accepting that resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Next up is number 13, easement agreement with St. Louis County for Progress Parkway Corridor. Motion to move? Oh, no, you're good. Thank you.
So moved.
Rousey?
I'll support.
Lillis? All right. So we chatted about this easement briefly in our workshop. I don't know why workshop has been a hard word for me today, but it has been. But essentially, we are looking to be giving space that cuts through the backside of Eveleth. And if you're thinking about where we're talking about, it'd be going into the woods behind, if you're at Mesabi College, if you're behind Minnesota Energy where the old dump used to be. As they're looking to create Progress Parkway, that's gonna be connecting Highway 37 up to the new roundabout that's gonna be created in 2026 towards the school. The goal there is to help create another pathway to get to the school, but also to create the ability to have industrial development for the city of Eveleth and what have you. It'll be ultimately a good thing once we get to the end. It's something that you guys have been talking about well before my time here. We've taken great leaps and bounds this last year to get this tied up, and Commissioner Nelson has been a huge part in the last couple months, really getting things tied up with his team. With that being said, I don't see any reason to back off or to want to push on this easement at all to let them get things done. With that being said, is there any other discussion regarding this easement?
I think it's just a really good thing for the city of Eveleth to cooperate with St. Louis County on this issue. It's to both our benefits.
You know,
I would definitely be in support of it.
it's good working, and for the people that are a little older like myself, the property is the old city dumps, if you're wondering where it was.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna find some real treasures when they go in there, but
Well, see, there's people that are wondering where that is behind there, but the people that grew up in this town know the city dump, so.
you're not concerned, are you?
No, I just think I'm gonna eat popcorn when they're digging it up. It's gonna be interesting.
It is the first of many steps of us.
Yes.
In land and agreements and everything else to get that road built, but at the end, it's gonna be well worth it to see an additional road coming from Highway 37 to feed the school, to help in emergency situations, and then, like I said, to help with our industrial park area. So ultimately, it's a good plan, and we have to give up some dump space that we weren't using anyway. So with that being stated, if there's no further discussion, all in favor of this easement agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion will carry. Next up, number 14, identify Eveleth projects and regional Brownsfield grant application. Motion to move.
So moved.
Rousey?
Support.
Koivunen? All right, so let me get to my proper page here. One off. The goal in this was that we were gonna move forward in the Brownsfield application. This is the one regarding working with the Rams group, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Rams Group wants to work strongly with, I believe it was 6 communities, and Eveleth was chosen, and Paul Peltier, who's doing a great job over at Rams and being a part of a lot of things, is putting together and working with a U.S. grant, so to speak, regarding helping Brownsfield. And if anybody's wondering what Brownsfield is, it's land that we currently can't use for anything because the ground is dirty, whether it was used in the past as a dump or it has spillage in it, etc. We're just unable to touch that property and develop on it. And working with this grant application is gonna help bring in some monies to help us either, not so much remedy it, but get us the answers that we need regarding the land with testing, etc. So, is there any questions? Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to this?
Mayor, I got something to add that
Yep.
might help in the
Absolutely.
decision-making process. I did speak with Rick Crum with NTS prior to the city council meeting, and of course, me being new here, and I have talked to staff, what are those areas that would be a high priority? And he certainly confirmed some things with me that staff has already talked about. The Alice property would be certainly a top priority. It's gone through some initial environmental assessment. What would be called Dan's Diner, which I believe was a closed restaurant, I believe.
Drive-through.
I brought up the idea of the gas station just down the road from IGA. I'm not sure if there is a contamination component there, but that's closed. So I brought that up in my discussion with him, and then finally he brought up the, and I couldn't tell you where this is, but he says it's the snow dump area at Hat Trick Drive behind the radio station. Does that ring any bells, anybody? So those are some ideas that he had, but he did say that the Al's property seems to be the top priority, and he also indicated that he can help complete this narrative. It's due tomorrow, so if there is some direction from the council, he said he'd be happy to work with me in getting this put together and sent out to Mr. Josh Bergstad at Arrowhead Regional Development Commission here by the due date of tomorrow.
No, I think the locations that we were discussing, I mean, obviously Al's location right now is one of the prime spots for us with our plan to hopefully move forward back there and get some progress done. You know, unfortunately, not all the land that's always discussed do we own it, but we would like to have it, but we don't because we're afraid of what we're gonna find if we were to purchase it, but pertaining to the Dan Steiner area. But I think that moving forward with Al's location is definitely, I would say, the number one option right now with everything else we have going on.
I agree.
Okay?
Thank you.
With that being said, all in favor of moving forward with the regional brownfields with the locations that were mentioned, with Al's location as being a primary, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Next up is resignation of our police officer. Motion to move.
I will make a motion to accept that resignation and to authorize the police chief to begin the processes necessary to fill the position.
Motion by Lillis,
And I will support that.
support by Koivunen. Chief, anything? Nothing?
Officer Walker, moving on, worked for a little over a year for us, almost a year and a half, present resignation, and so his last day will be on January 30th.
All right. Any further discussion?
Mayor, I would add to my motion to send Officer Leffler a letter of appreciation from the city for his
Yes,
service.
Second that.
Still stays with Lillis and Koivunen. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor of accepting the resignation from Officer Leffler, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Officer Leffler, thank you very much for your time and dedication to the city of Eveleth. We can't always be the greatest city in the world without great officers, great EMTs, firefighters, public works, librarians, city council members. It all works out with office staff included. So if I missed somebody, I do apologize. I didn't mean to. However, the greatest city in the world happens because Jerry is great at
Just
what he
gonna say,
does.
did you mention Jerry?
He's great at what he does. Did I gain some points back on that one? All right, thanks. Jerry's been having a little bit of a bromance with me lately. It's a problem. He sees me calling, he just knows, oh boy. No. With that being said, it leaves us to number 16, schedule the next town hall meeting. I am completely on board with aiming for something at the end of February, beginning of March. Does it behoove, there it went, you got it in, to make this final date on the 2nd, or do we need to get the date out before so it can be in the utility bill?
Well, I think it would be good to try to get it out either through the news or the utility bills to make sure we have a good response and people
So
attending.
utility bill makes the most sense. That makes sense why we're doing it now. Otherwise, yeah, we won't be in. Okay, so with that being said, are there, Mr. Purpich, when you're watching this later, just remember we picked a date thinking of you. We've used Wednesdays and Thursdays as our dates in the past.
I would really like if we could use a Wednesday, because I have stuff going on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay,
Otherwise, just tell me what time and where I have to be, as you usually do.
I would promote for us then to look at the 18th or the 25th. Does either one of those dates not work for?
18th is sketchy for me.
Okay. So the 25th seems to be sitting as the best date.
Yeah, it's not gonna snow that day.
It's not gonna
No,
snow.
I can tell.
Not much, anyway. Grass won't be long either.
Grass will be like, I'll have it off.
Counselor Lillis?
As he said, just tell me where and when and I'll be there.
Well, if we want to be with the Wednesday and the 18th is a little sketch, let's aim for the 25th and we can put that in utility bill. With that being said then, motion to move on a date of the 25th of February.
So move.
Rosie? Support?
I'll support, and I have a question.
And go ahead.
Location.
We had gone back and forth about talking about trying to utilize the community center. And we can definitely do that if we want to pull some bleachers out, or we can do it more town hall style and have it inside one of the smaller rooms and just pull out the tables and chairs and do it that way. But it also allows us to open up the building if we want, so that people can come for a walk and see what we've been up to. I don't want to surprise anybody, like we didn't move walls or, you know, create a dance hall or anything like that. We just want to open it up so people can see what's going on and have feeling and opinions on stuff. The only thing about there is I don't know if there'll be a whiteboard or anything like that started right away. But it's something that we can try to figure out too. So we've got better part of a month to figure it out. So if that works, we can do it right at the community center then,
Well,
or we can go to the auditorium.
I can see it either way. At the auditorium, at least you have the audio visual stuff.
It was pretty well set up there. If you could accomplish the same type of projection up here, I'm all for it, you know. I don't want to go backwards with our presentation. Get a laser.
Laser pointer, yes.
And a cat.
And
You know, if you wanted to use the community center as a location just to give folks an opportunity, you know, like an open house environment, I guess I could see some benefit to that as well. I know that, you know, I've certainly, I know someone that has audio visual equipment that could set it up on site and.
Well, I'm hearing what everybody's saying. Maybe instead of, you know, trying to say we're gonna do everything in one evening, we just make ourselves available in 2 evenings. So why don't we just go with having our town hall at the auditorium like we always have? We'll get a laser pointer. We're gonna work on that microphone. That was brought up. We're gonna get that hopefully fixed by then. And we'll do that at 5:30. Does that work for everybody?
5:30.
5:30 at the auditorium on February 25th. And sometime in February, we'll have an open house type thing then in March maybe for the community center. Not worry about doing 2 for 1, we'll figure it out. Okay. With that being said, then motion to move on the town hall meeting February 25th, 5:30 at the auditorium. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, that motion will carry. Thank you very much. That brings us to our board and liaison updates. Joe.
We had a airport meeting. Went very well. We have the new loader and snow blower and new plow truck, and they're all been working on it and they've been using it. Things are going slow. It's winter time, so, you know, with all the rain we've been getting out there, it's been pretty slow out there because you haven't been able to come in. More or less, it's been closed down a couple days because of the ice. But that's just part of doing business, and we just keep on going. We got a good group of guys working out there now. That's about all I got.
Perfect.
EDA, we met to resolve an issue at Lincoln Place. Had a problem with the elevators, so it's a significant expense that had to be addressed in very short order, obviously for the benefit of the residents up there. The other EDA meeting, or the regular EDA meeting, we had, I think, perhaps probably allow Councilor Rousey to go in more detail since he was in attendance of that meeting and I was at a medical appointment. So HRA meeting we had today, very routine, run-of-the-mill, no business that's out of the ordinary. Everything is running well up there, and I guess that's about all I can say about HRA at the moment.
Thank you.
What did you want to talk about?
EDA meeting.
The EDA meeting that we had. You have one hopefully by the end of the month, according to Pat. He's trying to line one up for that.
Yes, next
But
week.
the one we had was due to the elevator problem. And it was basically maintenance, something that wears out after a while and it has to be addressed. And yes, it was spendy, but it's something that's gotta be done, so. And it was about a 10-minute meeting, once all the facts are out there, so. It was nice. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Well, I will step in. I've had, now that the new year's going, the meetings have started. We sit down. Myself and Pat have had the luxury of being able to sit and meet some people as he's coming into the new year and being a part of the role of the city of Eveleth, not just as a city administrator, but also as economic development. We had a meeting with the IRRB and everything went really swell there. They gave us lots of information, lots of guidance. He was able to meet the people that we work with, and of course a great team, and they're super accepting of us coming in and just asking questions and hearing what they had to say. I'm gonna refer to Pat in my next sentence because my excitement level for the grocery store sometimes gets in the way when I talk about it. So I have to take a step back, but we talked briefly about the grocery store and the process that it took. And unfortunately, there were a lot of groups involved, and we're not gonna talk about it all, but there are a lot of groups involved that really slowed down the pace. But now, Pat, explain exactly where we're at to the community as far as the grocery store and where we're headed.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Well, we did approve the real estate agreement at a previous EDA meeting. Of course, the city council had to give direction to the EDA to be able to do that, and so those all took place. You were all there for that. We've closed on that particular loan. Now we own the property, and now our responsibility is to implement the demolition, the roof replacement, the parking lot development in that project. Our plan for next week's meeting not only is to do some kitchen duties, but also to kick that off. We've invited the IRRB to be a part of that process if they've chose to be, and I've sat down with our bond counsel and other individuals that developed this project just to make sure I understand it and what our responsibilities are. But those are really the major responsibilities we have. Certainly we have a funding source in IRRB. As we do work, we can be reimbursed for it, but one of the requirements is we must not only do the work, but we must pay for the work. And so one of the questions I have to IRRB is what is that, what is that gap, in paying and being reimbursed for it. And so I've got some inquiries to IRRB, but we're really at the kickoff stage of project managing the grocery store building. And like I said, that'll start here at the EDA meeting next week.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pat. Like I say, I get excited because I'm like, there's gonna be a dumpster out there soon. I can feel it, right? There's gonna be items in the dumpster that we don't need. I can feel it. And this spring, there will be a roof on that building and you're gonna start to see the progress. And
You'll be able to smell the blacktop.
it's gonna be a good feeling. And I know that, we initially had said we were hoping to be at progress in the late fall. Like I said, things held things up, but I just want the community to know that there's a lot of steps to it. And if your patience is getting thin, you can just imagine where everybody that's around me is at, because I'm like chomping at it. But the process is still there. Things are happening, and you will see some small things happening over the course of this winter. And hopefully by spring, when the weather seems nice, then we'll see a new roof on there and then really see the progress we've been looking for. And thank you again to the community for their patience on this. This is not just patience over the last 6 months. This is patience over years. And we're getting there one step at a time. And to everybody that's asking, who is it? The group that's involved is still asking to stay without word of who they are, and I completely respect it. Met with them. They're truly a great group of people, and they're excited to do something for this community more so than doing it for themselves, which is such a great thing to hear. Their motivation is about helping the city of Eveleth. So you'll see progress there throughout the winter, but most of it will come this spring. That's where we're at. So we'll keep giving guidance to the EDA to do good things so that we can keep moving the way we want to. I also went to the Joint Cable Television Access Board meeting. Everything there is status quo. Now that they're meeting noon, they're having enough people. They're having their reports. Everything is getting done. You know, it's fun to go in there because you've got all ages of people. The school's got a young gentleman named Quaid there who you can just see his mind turns differently, and I enjoyed listening to his little bit of input that he was given. But it was ultimately a good meeting. We still have Hugo who's acting. Hugo's back there tonight. We've got him taking care of all of our close-up shots and making sure that we look as best as we can. But Hugo's still working hard for us. The only request that we had is that if we could start trying to find a way, and I don't know if there's an answer yet, but trying to find a way that we can start seeing a little bit more of our information on Channel 12 and how, if they can put it on their YouTube as well, and they're looking into all of that. We pay a price to have them here. We pay a price to work with them. So just trying to see if we can get a little bit more bang for our buck if it's possible. So other than that, it was pretty much what do we need, what's got to get paid, and on our way we go. So thank you to everybody there. Ken Larson takes his position very seriously and finds it very important to the community to continue to have the Joint Cable Board and obviously Access 12 TV. So if you're watching us on Access 12, wonderful. If you're watching us on YouTube, that works too. So thank you. With that being said, we'll do our round robin. Jerry, you've been pretty quiet tonight.
I have a lot of stuff in the works, Mayor, and I'll be bringing it to you real soon. Some are gonna be a little costly as far as equipment needs. We're putting together a list of auctions, stuff that we can put on auction this summer. Bring that to you soon, and we'll try to get that scheduled for this summer. We are in need of a few pieces of equipment. So I'll be talking to you about it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chief?
Nothing else tonight, Mayor.
Wonderful. Alan, anything on your mind?
Nothing to add here, thank you.
So thank you very much. We've kept you plenty busy the last month and you've been keeping up, so we'll just add more until you start waving a white flag. Therese, you're back there. Anything you'd like to say today?
Just thankful for our crews and keeping our ambulances on the road and staff as well as the academy have 4 medical leaves at one time, so that's leaving a bit of a challenge, but Pat and I have come up with some creative ways to help guide us through that, and things are going okay. Just thankful for our crews.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Steph, anything on your mind? I knew that was coming. Pat, anything you'd like to add?
The only thing I'd like to add, Mayor, is what I mentioned just at workshop. We do have an email from St. Louis County on some deliverables relating to Progress Parkway. They've given us a deadline of January 23rd, but they've also indicated that if you need some additional time, we'll accommodate. And so what I'd like to do is sit down with Alan and Jerry here, and they've received this email as well. And we'll go through some preliminary staff answers to them, but I expect we'll be coming back to you on the 2nd to get council approval on some of these items.
If there is any further discussion that's needed from us or whatever, we can also make it possibly the 3rd item. Do we have time yet to add to that for next week?
You mean for
a workshop, if you just need.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great idea. Thank you for saying that, Mayor. Yes, we could add it as a 3rd opportunity to review that, or and because we just don't know what the timetable is for the others, but the other 2. But thank you for suggesting that. And like I said, it's really much of it is sort of a staff answer to a lot of things, but ultimately there will be some city council final decisions that need to come to play. But we'll certainly consider that as a real good option for us. Thank you for offering that.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have.
If that's all we have, the next time that we will be gathering, I'm gonna double check here, will be on the 29th for a workshop here. And the next time we will be seen on screen then will be on February 2nd, which is our next Monday's thing. So just keep in mind, we'll be having our next meeting on February 2nd, February 25th, we'll be having our town hall, and we will go from there. If that's all we have, I recommend taking a look at the wilderness schedule, going out there and support that hockey team that's enjoying the Hippodrome right now. With that being said, enjoy the greatest city. Meeting adjourned.